Diets and workouts, you've done the work, so why can't you get to your goal weight? That's because up to 70% of your weight is predetermined by your genetics. So while you've been told that it's all about your willpower, you're actually fighting your biology. Don't do it alone. Found's Doctor Design program uses medication as part of a treatment plan that targets your body's unique biological needs, so that your body works with you and not against you. Take the quiz at joinfound.com to see if Found's weight loss program is right for you.
Welcome to the PowerCat Podcast, GoPowerCat.com's Kansas State Athletics Show. Make sure you're subscribing to our show at Apple, Spotify, Amazon, or wherever you get your podcasts. Now, from the GPC studios, here's your host, GoPowerCat publisher, Tim Fitzgerald.
Welcome to the Overtime. It's the PowerCat Overtime Podcast, the nonsense podcast, the one that you don't want to listen to, but you do, because it's fun. We have fun. You ask us anything, we answer. That's how it works. You got serious K-State sports questions? We've got that podcast. It's called the PowerCat Questions Podcast, and it's earlier in the week.
Just want to make a note.
Oh, that's Zach Carlson.
We do allow Manhattan questions on this podcast in the summertime.
I agree, but like the serious...
But like, if it deals with K-State directly,
right,
and if it's a sports K-State question,
right,
no. If it's about like Kansas State University enrollment and serious issues, like maybe put it on the podcast,
like your favorite bars
on the questions podcast. But like, if it's about Manhattan in general and the community, it's summertime.
Tell me more.
We'll take these questions here.
Fitz.
Hold on. Whoa. We're getting way ahead of ourselves here. I'm Tim Fitzgerald. That was Zach Carlson. That's Ryan Gilbert trying to pipe in here. And Cole Carmody's being a good kid. Thank you, Cole, for waiting your turn.
Do you want me to raise my hand?
Go ahead.
What are your favorite bars?
Taco Lucha and So Long Saloon.
Super glad I didn't wet my pants.
By chance, are those the sponsors of this podcast? Hell yes, they are. Get into Lucha and Saloon at the corner of 12th and Morrow.
I've never heard it called Lucha and Saloon.
That's what I said.
Yeah. Get
into Lucha and the Saloon.
That's like people from Fort Riley and Junction City calling it, we're going to the Aggie. We're going to the Aggie. You go to the Aggie much? No, it's called the Ville, guys.
Oh, my God.
It's called the Ville.
To get into Taco Lucha and So Long Saloon, burgers, tacos, both fun. But if you want to see sexy Ryan Gilbert tend to the bar, you got to go to the taco place.
Si, senor. 1,000 times si.
And we had a little controversy in this week's Questions podcast, the one about K-State sports. And I just want to bring it up here to start the overtime. Did Cole Carmody do a good Jimbo Fisher?
Upon further review, I think the answer is yes.
Yeah. Can you answer this question, Ryan, without me having to bleep you out on the podcast that should have bleeping out, but I had to bleep you out on the podcast that shouldn't have bleeping out? Go.
Yes.
Okay, bleep that out.
I didn't break any rules. I never broke any rules in my life. I don't understand what you're even asking me this question for, because all I do is everything fair. You say I try and buy all my players, but that's not what I do.
What's funny is
when you
the
just
video
played it
you
back.
played, that's what the video sounded like, but it also sounded like they sped it up, because when you put it at 0.75, it sounds like a normal person
So
speaking.
that wasn't sped up. You had to slow it down to make it sound normal.
I don't know. I believe he talked that fast in his press conference.
I think he was that fired up.
Yeah.
It's despicable that somebody can say things about somebody and an organization. More importantly, 17-year-old kids. You're taking shots at 17-year-old kids and their families. That they broke state laws. They're all money. We bought every player on this group. We never bought anybody. No rules were broken. Nothing was done wrong. It was all in the way we do things, the ethics in which we do things. And these families, it's despicable that a reputable head coach could come out and say this when he doesn't get his way or things don't go his way. The narcissist in him doesn't allow those things to happen. And it's ridiculous. But when he's not on top, and the parity in college football he's been talking about, go talk to coaches who coach for him. You'll find out all the parity. Go dig into wherever he's been. You can find out anything. Some people think they're God. Go dig into how God did his deal. You may find out about a guy that a lot of things you don't want to know. We built him up to be the czar of football. Go dig into his past or anybody that's ever coached with him. You can find out anything you want to find out, what he does and how he does it.
I wasn't watching the press conference because I was at a very exclusive country club trying to watch a golf tournament.
Fluffy, bring me another vodka soda.
Nah, I couldn't afford that. Those drinks were way too expensive.
How was the PGA Championship?
It was a lot of fun. We did have all-inclusive food and non-alcoholic beverages, so I kept a running total of what the face value, I'm using air quotes here for those of you listening at home, the face values of these products were significantly inflated. A bottle of water, and this isn't a 20-ounce gas station bottle of water. This is a 16.9-ounce, half-liter bottle of water that you can get in a 24-pack at the grocery store. They were selling those individual bottles of water for $6.
Oh, God.
Which is the price of the pack. If you're not buying it on sale, that's the price of the pack. Gatorades were like $7, but I spent in air quotes, I spent over
$100 billion
worth of value in food over 2 days.
Nice.
So I got...
Good job, Snack Time.
Yeah. The best thing I ate was a fried bread taco.
Please explain.
I don't know. That's
Okay.
weird. That's just weird.
It was delicious.
Did you stop by Tulsa's Blue Whale that I never knew existed until the Phillips 66 commercial?
No.
Go to Whataburger.
I actually did not.
Wow.
Never made it.
Wow.
He did bring back...
Because we ate so much of the golf course, we weren't hungry.
You ate the golf course, like the grass?
Yeah. We less miles.
That was not a sound effect. That was me.
Did a less miles.
I want to thank you for bringing back the present that you brought back
Yes.
for me. And maybe we should have...
We need to sample it at some point.
Yeah.
Because it does sound like a good drink, but it's like a country club drink in Oklahoma City, I think, or somewhere in Oklahoma that they...
No, it's a friend of my buddy Ron who's in Tulsa, and I think they might be out of Nebraska. I don't know where they're from. I'm still seeking more details.
I Googled the rest, like what you explained to me, and I was like, Oklahoma country club drink, and it was... And then once I picked it up, it was close to what the recipe was.
So it's a canned drink called a Club Special.
Yeah.
And it knocks off someone's golf club special. That's what the drink's called at the club, but of course it's so vague you can't trademark that. And it's a like lemon and lime flavoring in vodka, and it is delicious.
With club soda and a splash of Sprite is like the recipe, including like some limeade and then lemon juice or lemonade, something.
Yeah.
It sounds tasty, delightful in the summertime.
I tell you what, before we go eat lunch at one of our sponsors, I will crack one open and we can all have a little sample of it. We should have a video show called The Sample.
Ding.
Okay.
That
was a fine idea that just didn't.
It deserved to be canceled after 3 episodes.
Yeah, it did. We can't.
But we tried.
We tried.
We tried our best.
We tried. We try on this one, too, and it's called The Overtime, and you ask us anything, we answer, and someone's going to ask a question now. I don't even know who.
I'm going to read the questions.
Thank God. This one is long as hell, so I'm glad you're reading this one.
Yeah, you're not familiar with the long as hell ones. Go ahead.
From I Like Pickles Cat. He's going to take a shot at somebody sitting around the table here. I'm just letting you know.
It's got to be me. Hope
Nope,
so.
it's not.
Oh.
Me?
Zach.
Oh!
Last week you said you had no limits on questions. Last week I asked a few. One of the stronger ones I thought had received some upvotes from others was not asked. Upon re-listening, I realized your one question per person rule was still in effect practically. No one got multiple questions on the podcast. Will you be up to your same bullshit this week? Are you trying to get us to burn through our best questions in May?
Zach, explain yourself, young man.
Look, was last week the first one we did?
Second
one. Yeah, I opened it up. I let people ask more questions. Really,
you didn't honor that.
Just because I let you ask them doesn't mean we have to use them. Also, these are overtime questions.
With answers like that, you're never getting married.
These are evergreen. We can go back. You can ask if we don't use the question.
Ask again.
Ask it again. Be annoying. Because maybe one day it'll be the best question, and maybe it just didn't make the cut last week.
What a load of crap.
Maybe, what was it? Was it the one about Nick Saban smelling good? Is that what? Or which coaches? I don't remember which one. I unlocked the thread to go back to see which one you were talking about, and there was a couple questions. I thought you asked way more questions last week than what you actually did.
I bet you Nick Saban still uses Old Spice. That's his cologne.
When you say still uses, like, are you making fun of people that still use
Old Spice? Yeah, like from the 70s all the way to now. Yeah.
Okay, but not me who uses Old Spice products.
Well, do you use the cologne?
No.
That's what I'm talking about. The cologne. That's what it was originally before they branched out into body washes and all this fancy foo-foo, man. But by the way, it's actually, those products are pretty good. But their cologne is, oh, crap.
He may use Old Spice, but he's got a lot in his closet.
You know, there's a question about F1 later, but
Jimbo just
there was at the F1 race, there was a cologne, like F1 licensed and produced cologne, and they had really cheesy like names, and I got one sample. Obviously, my smell's still just like ridiculous.
Does it smell like burnt rubber or what?
There was I'm trying to think. It was like chrome something was like the flavor scent. I wasn't tasting it. I wasn't licking the card.
I think we know what sound I'm dropping in right here.
What cologne are you gonna go with? London Gentleman or wait? No. Hold on. Blackbeard's Delight.
No. She gets a special cologne. It's called Sex Panther by Odeon. It's illegal in 9 countries. Yep. It's made with bits of real panther, so you know it's good.
It's quite pungent.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, it's a formidable scent. It stings the nostrils. In a good way.
Yeah.
Brian, I'm going to be honest with you. That smells like pure gasoline.
They've done studies, you know. 60% of the time, it works every time.
That doesn't make sense.
But, jeez. Sorry, Pickles.
Zach just hates you, Pickles. We all know this.
Pickles, if this level of hostility drives Zach to quit, it's going to be on your shoulders. I just want you to know, if you drive off my longtime employee with this level of meanness, I'm going to be mad at you forever, Pickles. Let's move on.
No. Zach has to ask this one.
We'll keep... Oh, yeah, I do have to ask this one.
You can't ask it, Cole.
You're right.
Yeah, I'll ask this one. But yes, Pickles, you may ask as many questions as you want, and if we and to anyone, if we don't get to your question, ask it again.
Player!
As long as it's if there's a timely question in the overtime, which there really shouldn't be, we'll try to get into it. But it's relaxing. We take 10 questions or so a week. We can't get to everybody. We try our best. But Pickles keep asking questions. And we're going to go to Pickles again with his other question this week. He asks, Cole and Gills, I assume your leases are about up. What are you least looking forward to cleaning before you leave?
Well, I'm going to answer this question, and there's going to be one drop and one drop only that needs to be inserted after my answer.
Okay.
You know what? I'm not leaving. The show goes on. This is my home. They're gonna need a wrecking ball to take me out of here. They're gonna need to send in the National Guard or fucking SWAT team, because I ain't going nowhere.
You've never seen The Wolf on Wall Street?
The Wolf on Wall Street? Like,
what did I say?
It's the Wolf of Wall Street. It's the Wolf of Wall Street.
On Wall Street.
The Wolf on Wall Street.
Fitz got you all messed up when we're going to go to the
That sounds like a bad $5 gas station movie that's just like a parody, but it's,
The Wolf on Wall Street. I'm not leaving.
Yeah, Pickles, we're not leaving.
I'm not leaving.
We are not. We re-signed the lease.
Speaking of wolves, one of my personal wolves, dude, looks like a passed out fraternity kid. Like he's fallen half out of his bed.
Where the hell is he?
He's over here behind Zach, next to Zach. It looks like he's been in the
Everyone's standing up.
He went out drinking. Here, I'll just bring up the photo, guys. I just took a photo of him. There he is.
This is an audio podcast, and Fitz is showing everyone a picture of dude passed out on the ground in his bed, but slightly off of it.
Also, I'm gonna.
There's your audio visual description.
Thank you.
I'm going to answer the second part of this question, and I'm going to give a shout out to a family member because when we had my graduation party, Ryan and I, we keep our apartment fairly clean. Like, we try and pick it up. We try and, mop the floor with the Swiffer and do all that kind of stuff.
Cole's had worse roommates.
I have. And so, shout out to my family for coming down and doing a deep clean of the apartment. Yes, we're both 23-year-old men, but our families come down and cleans our apartment.
Wow, that's...
Thank you, Barbara.
Thank you.
I would admit that. So when we were there, was
Barbara,
that the cleanest it's been?
Can you come clean the podcast restroom? Because someone showed up for the podcast and did a little damage. I'm not going to say names, but it rhymes with schmoll.
Does my name rhyme with that? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I think I'm good.
Is your apartment normally that clean?
Usually, yeah.
Like the
you guys seem
bathroom.
like you'd keep a decent apartment.
Yeah, it is. Honestly.
But it helps that it's a newer, nicer building too.
With the most jacked up flooring I've ever seen in my life. What is it? Did some drunk guy put down the?
I don't know.
It's like peel and stick, but they didn't put it down tight. So now there's like gaps in the peel. It's just bizarre. But you do have nice cabinets. I'll give you that.
And the bathroom is huge. You could play baseball in there. There's no reason for a bathroom to be that big.
My bathroom. Cole's bathroom is smaller.
Hold on, there's 2 bathrooms in there?
Yep.
Cole has the master bedroom.
I do.
But my bathroom's bigger. I have a lot of fun in there.
Oh, yeah, I bet. I don't want to know. We better
really
move
don't
on.
wanna know.
Please move on.
From Go Stay Kate, speaking of bathrooms.
I don't even know.
Should I remodel the bathroom or buy a boat?
Oh, you remodel the bathroom.
Why?
Because you'll get a ride on that toilet at least twice a day. And the boat you might take out. You'll be shocked at how little time. If you don't live on the water.
Did somebody look at the podcast questions before? Was somebody liking posts in responses in the thread? Because
I might have peeked this week.
Because I think somebody might have peeked a little bit.
If you live on a lake and you got a dock right there, boat. If you don't, you're going to be hauling that sucker all over the place. I'm telling you, everyone I know that has bought a boat that doesn't live on water regrets it. They eventually sell it. They might enjoy it for a year or two, but eventually they sell it. There's upkeep, there's storage, there's just gasoline right now. I mean, it's a nightmare. And plus, the bathroom will make your wife happy. It'll look nice. It'll probably be cheaper than a boat, even though it's not cheap.
How much are you spending on a boat, and how is there even a money comparison between new bathroom and a boat? Either this boat sucks, or your bathroom is going to be the most bougie bathroom alive.
Here's the deal. This is what I take from this question. The wife wants the bathroom to be remodeled.
Right.
And
what if she wants the boat?
Wants a
Hey, I'm telling you what, if the answer is your wife wants the boat and you want your bathroom remodeled, you get the damn boat. Basically, I'm saying make your wife happy. Whatever she wants. Because I'm telling you right now, brother, this ain't worth winning the fight. Having a boat against your wife's wishes will only come back to bite you on the ass. Because she will eventually be proven right when you don't take that boat out 40 times a year.
But if you remodel the bathroom, you can make sure that nothing will come up and bite you on the ass.
Well, unless you're in India and the snake is in the pipes. Which I don't think he is. That's my answer.
I think I'm gonna.
And I did peek at that question. Damn it, Zach.
I'm gonna do him one better here. You can remodel your bathroom, and instead of buying a boat, buy a kayak, buy a canoe. Buy another device that can get you on the water without.
I don't think that our listening demographic is the people that are willing to put in the work to physically.
Are you calling out our listeners now?
Hang on. To physically move themselves across the water.
Okay,
they are not. Our listeners are not paddle people.
I know for a fact one of our listeners has 2 kayaks.
Who? Well, I don't think that. I don't think they have enough money to buy a boat.
Wow.
Yeah, probably.
That's high end for our listeners.
And they remodeled their bathroom.
Well, there we go. I'm just envisioning Kate as a very fit man. It's weird. Like he's in good shape. He's kind of a looker. So maybe he can get in the kayak. But guys, just stop and think, what if Kate looks like me? How would he get into a kayak? How would he get into a paddle boat without injuring himself?
Academy sells like pedal boats. You can buy a pedal boat at Academy.
but you have to get into it.
Yeah.
Man overboard!
You do?
I barely can get out of my seat to go to the bathroom, let alone crawl down into a boat at water level.
I would actually pay money to watch you try kayaking. Even canoeing.
At what point would you intervene and rescue me? Because when I eventually tip over and I won't be able to get back up, will you just watch me drown?
Are you wearing a life jacket?
You've got to wear a life jacket.
Well, I'll wear a life jacket. I can swim, but I'll be upside down with my legs caught in a boat. I'm going to die if I don't flip back over.
You've never been in a canoe or a kayak and flipped over, have you?
No, excuse me. I don't like
you
water.
fall out.
Do you really?
Yeah. You don't stay in it. You fall out.
Oh, I won't. My fat legs and fat butt will be crammed in there and caught, and I'll just die. I say buy a paddleboard. Just get out there and look like a total idiot. But you'll be able to take a crap like a prince.
Next question comes from Itam Bibi. I hardly remember any eating places in Manhattan simply because I simply didn't go out as a student.
Oh, that's
Nerd.
The only place I can remember is Valentino's Pizza. Is it still around? Where do you put Valentino's Pizza among all eating places in Manhattan?
I'm
Good,
the only
average, or bottom?
Where was this at?
Was it around for you?
Itam Bibi
He's older than me.
is dating himself a little bit
Yeah,
here.
he's a little bit older.
No, there's the recent Valentino's that's gone. That's I think what he's talking about. I don't think it's original Valentino's. Maybe I'm wrong.
Where was it?
It was. Yeah, that was all the same one, I think.
No, the one over by the flood zone? That was a different one. They opened that like in early 2000s.
Okay, where was the original one then?
I don't know.
I thought that was where it was, and then it reopened.
Well, original is like obviously Nebraska area, but
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you. I think the original Val's was before my parents.
It's like a Lincoln thing.
Original Valentino's was good. It was good, but maybe it's just one of those things we fondly remember because honestly, we didn't have as many options back in the 70s and 80s. We just didn't. You had Pizza Hut. It was better than Pizza Hut. The one they brought back in the 2000s was horse. It was not good.
That is the
God, I gotta
worst.
bleep out a lot of crap.
You do. That was the buffet, worst pizza buffet I think I've ever had.
Oh, it was horrible.
It was terrible.
It was terrible.
And
I will
when
take-
people from Nebraska are saying like, "Oh, we love Valentino's,"
Yeah,
no, you don't. You are lying. Let's go to Runza,
Yes.
or let's go to Amigos.
I don't know what that is, but I'm sure it's better than Valentino's.
Runs is amazing.
I will take AJ's over any other pizza every day of the week. It's available in Manhattan.
Agreed.
I like getting a thick crust every once in a while.
From where? Say it.
Domino's.
Oh, I forgot.
Domino's has the best pan.
What about the place that...
From a chain, yeah.
What about that place that's from Illinois, but it's kind of longer in the tooth?
I'm just an old man.
Longer in the tooth.
That's. How old are you?
Are you talking?
It's a little bit longer in the tooth.
Are you talking about Old Chicago?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
I think Old Chicago is on the track to becoming a Pizza Hut type of pizza.
Yeah.
It was good
Actually,
it was good at one time, and now it's just kind of like
They're Old Chicago 7, but we have to leave off a couple items as a compromise between the wife and I, so it becomes a Chicago 5. I think it's really good. I would agree with that. I would pick that safely over Domino's.
So Valentino,
with their urine-soaked bread.
So Valentino's is a Lincoln thing. It's a Nebraska
thing. Yeah.
I just want to know: is Valentino? Was he just some guy who just opened a pizza place in Nebraska? Because if your last name is Valentino and you find your way in Lincoln, there's not a lot of Italian families that live in Nebraska.
Italian.
I think that is. I think Fitz likes Valentino's just because of the name. That's the only reason he would ever go to a place.
Welcome to Valentino's. I'm Valentino. You want to sit?
That does not sound very Italian. You sound like you're
shut up.
Constipated Liam Neeson.
I've got a set of tools that includes not taking a crap for days.
The humans will be right back.
Hey, I'm Ryan Reynolds. Recently, I asked Mint Mobile's legal team if big wireless companies are allowed to raise prices due to inflation. They said yes. And then when I asked if raising prices technically violates those onerous two-year contracts, they said, "What the f*** are you talking about, you insane Hollywood ass?" So to recap, we're cutting the price of Mint Unlimited from $30 a month to just $15 a month. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 up front for 3 months plus taxes and fees. Promo rate for new customers for limited time. Unlimited more than 40 gigabytes per month. Slows full terms at mintmobile.com.
Getting the crew together isn't as easy as it used to be. We get it. Life comes at you fast. But trust us, your pals are desperate for a good hang. And when they hear you stock the party with drinks from Drizzly, they'll be banging down your door. Let Drizzly, the go-to app for drink delivery, take care of the supplies. All you need is an excuse. It doesn't even have to be a good one. It's your dog's birthday. The loquats are finally ripe. Whatever. With Drizzly, you can compare prices on a massive selection of beer, wine, and spirits and get them delivered straight to your door. Which means you can entice the crew to leave their houses without ever leaving yours. Whatever the occasion, download the Drizzly app or go to drizzly.com. That's DRIZLY.com today. Must be 21 plus, not available in all locations.
The ads are done. Speak humans.
Next question comes from Man Bear Pig Cat.
I love it.
Underscore cat. My bad. Sorry.
You're fired.
With Scorpion Biological Services coming to Manhattan for a new $650 million project, should we expect Manhattan to continue growing? And if so, how should we expect it to change in the next 5 to 10 years?
I think it's interesting about Manhattan is, like, this last census was the first single-digit percentage growth, and it really was only like 3% since the last census.
Sentence.
Makes sense.
Everything's pretty much been like 15% or higher in a 10-year period. So this was a really kind of a rare, slow growth period of Manhattan because it really didn't grow. It grew by a few hundred people.
Well, we're choked off. I mean, we don't have much area to grow in, and unfortunately, going out 24 is the only way to go. I mean, you can't go north. There's a lake. There's a big floodplain to the south, right? Right between us and I-70, it's pretty much a floodplain.
Or a native area.
I can see them going through that area eventually. And then, of course, you got the military base to the west. So really going down 24 is the only way to go. So my serious answer is this. They're going to have to do incredible infrastructure improvements. 24 is already too dangerous and too crowded. To add 500 employees at least, they said 500 high-paying jobs, so there's probably more employees than that because someone's got to clean the halls and, take care of stuff. I don't know how that infrastructure would handle it. They have to turn 24 basically into a divided highway with overpasses and merge lanes. Like
they need a frontage. It needs a frontage road.
It is awful right now.
Now, in my dream, they put in light rail to run between Manhattan and Wamego with a stop at an industrial park because I feel like that's not going to be the only business that goes in out there.
That place is growing like crazy.
Is it Green Valley Road? It's like cut off. Like there's one lane each way, which they needed to do what they're doing to that intersection, but they got to do something at 24 because that's obviously the way it's growing. You can't wait. You can't wait like you did with K18 and do what you did 10 years ago to K18. Like the time to do that to Highway 24 from here to Wamego, the time is now. You got to do it now and get it done right now because that is the way that it's going to grow.
You mentioned the census in Manhattan growing. A lot of the reason why Manhattan isn't growing as much is because people are moving to St. George. People are moving to the place. Maybe I don't even know if it's technically Manhattan anymore.
But the metro didn't grow much either. Between Junction City or like the metros consist of Riley County, Pot County, Gary County. So even those didn't grow that much.
I would be interested to see the growth of Pot County in relative terms to the growth of the other places.
Now, Manhattan does bridge the two counties. That's why I think it's so flippin' stupid this community has county police. It
doesn't make any sense.
We have county police that can't go into part of the city.
Yeah.
This doesn't make sense to me. So basically, if you want to commit crimes, do it over in Pot County where the sheriff has to take care of it. There we go.
But then you got to go to court in in Westmoreland.
Hey, don't hate on Westy. Don't you hate on Westy?
I will hate on Westmoreland. It's the worst county seat in Kansas. 105 counties in Kansas.
Why are you crapping on Westmoreland?
There's nothing wrong with Westy.
Westmoreland does not deserve to be a county seat. You can't change my mind.
Okay. That's great. My other answer is this.
Westy.
Once you put in a company called Scorpion, you have to be prepared with the infrastructure for superheroes and villains. Because I'm pretty sure.
I mean,
something's going to go wrong and a villain will be created. We're going to need some superheroes. You probably need a tower in which they can put up the cat signal or whatever we got. Catman.
Doofenshmirtz Evil Emporium needs Doofenshmirtz, my bad.
What's that from?
Phineas and Ferb.
What'd you say?
That's really dating you.
I don't know what that is.
And really, it's probably dating me a little bit.
I have no idea what that is.
Perry the Platypus.
Yep.
Boy, we just died.
I don't know.
Ask to those of you listening, just in the comments of the post, please let us know if you understand the references to
Optimistic Zach. 25 minutes in, he thinks people are still listening.
if you know who Dr. Doofenshmirtz is.
Speaking of Dr. Doofenshmirtz, 3G Wildcat wants to know for Zach.
Is that who that is?
For Zach, was attending the F1 race everything you hoped it would be? For all, what sporting event would you like to attend that you have not had access to in the past?
It was hot, and water access was kind of difficult because it was you either had to buy it and it was warm, or you had to wait in line for the little water system. We were at least allowed to carry in as much water as we wanted, which was nice. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was hot in the sun, but
I mean, Miami was hot.
Miami was hot. Yeah, Miami Gardens was.
Did you see Gloria Estefan?
See Rick Ross?
I saw Post Malone perform a concert. I still have not seen an actual concert that I've gone to. He was performing on a stage that was in view barely of our seats, and I was able to watch Post Malone perform like his 5 most famous songs before qualifying on Saturday. So
Doing good.
Yeah, it was a great time. I love going to F1 races.
Sporting events?
He's my favorite heavily tattooed rich kid that became a star.
Hey, he's not a bad artist.
No, he's actually
He's a good person.
I've seen him do. Was he singing? Was he singing country with someone?
Yeah.
And it was incredible. He's really talented.
He's for being a rich kid. He's really down to earth.
Oh, that's good.
But I mean, he was born with the silver spoon in his mouth. But also, I wouldn't expect if I was.
Was he born with the tattoos on his face?
If I was a parent that had a lot of money, I'd be a little disappointed if my kid got a whole bunch of tattoos on his face like that.
Even though he makes millions of dollars?
He also is making millions of dollars. So,
But didn't he get the tattoos before the millions of dollars?
No.
He didn't?
No.
I don't know.
Not the face tattoos.
It took him a little bit. He had to get at least a little face.
He had to drink a few more Bud Lights and smoke a few cigarettes before
Okay.
that happened.
What was the question?
Sporting events that you had not attended that you would like to attend. Fitz.
Kentucky Derby.
That's a good one.
I would like to go to the NASCAR race in Kansas City, but that one happens in the fall every year. So
No, there's one.
I know, but
2 weeks ago. You don't want to.
I don't want to go.
You don't want to go in May. Too hot.
I want the main one. I want the.
You want the
Gilbert?
The playoff.
You already know my answer.
What is it?
Go to a Steelers game.
Really? What would be your answer been a year ago?
Go to a Steelers game.
No, it wouldn't have been. I've never seen someone join a bandwagon when it's broken down, but he did.
There we go.
Does that make him a good fan or just an idiot?
I'm already an idiot, so you can't change that.
Just odd.
Okay, so
it's on the verge of Riley-ish.
Ooh.
Riley would be proud of me, yeah.
Just randomly picking a team. America's Steel team.
You know who oh, never mind. I'm not going to get into the history of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Get into it.
No, we're not doing that.
We're not doing any history lessons.
He doesn't know it, so he's backing away.
No history lessons. No history lessons.
He doesn't want to do it, but he doesn't know it.
I was going to give you a fun fact on how they were named.
Franco Harris.
Mine's the Masters.
Ooh, good one.
Bless you.
He's apparently allergic. He's very allergic to the Masters.
I'm very allergic to the pimentos and cheese.
Super Bowl, is that too basic?
No. It's because the access is difficult. I think, when you get to the Masters, you get to Super Bowl. I mean, even like the Miami Grand Prix, if you don't get face value tickets going to that, I mean, it's basically like going to the Super Bowl is what you're spending, which is like unfathomable for me to think about at this point because we got really lucky to get in on a pre-sale and go for relatively cheap. But, if it's an exclusive event, and I would say the Kentucky Derby probably qualifies for that somewhat. It's accessible, but it's a Super Bowl level type of event. Like it's a go and say I went to this, regardless of what.
Here's my issue with the Kentucky Derby. Every time I see the crowd shots, it looks like you barely have room to breathe, and I don't like that. Down deep inside, I don't like people. I'm a people person. But I don't want you touching me.
The name's Francis Sawyer. But everybody calls me Psycho. Any of you guys call me Francis, and I'll kill you. You just made the list, buddy. And I don't like nobody touching my stuff. So just keep your meat hooks off. If I catch any of you guys in my stuff, I'll kill you. Also, I don't like nobody touching me. Now, any of you touch me, and I'll kill you.
Lighten up, Francis.
Okay? If any of you touch my stuff, I'll kill you.
I just think it's weird to get all dressed up to go out in the mud. Because it's going to be gross, and it rains half the time. Like, it's just like you're going to ruin your whole fit.
If you're going to the Kentucky Derby, I don't think you care about ruining clothes.
But a shout out to our guy Brian Hanley, who did go to the Kentucky Derby with his lovely wife this year, and it was amazing.
Rich Strike? Did he?
I don't know if he gambled. I haven't talked to him about that. I'm a good kid. I don't talk about alcohol and gambling and marijuanas. Any of that.
Interesting.
I'm not that kind of guy.
Next question?
Yeah, probably.
Why would you ever go to the national championship game for college basketball unless you have a really good seat?
Oh, I know.
Wouldn't
I'm totally with
suck?
you. Yeah. I'm totally with you.
Sitting all the way up at the top.
I'm totally with you. So here's my thing also is the Super Bowl's going to Vegas, right? And I plan on using some of our timeshare and reserving that a year out, but I'm not going to the game. I'm number one, I can't afford it. And that's not a good use of resources in my book, said the guy with timeshare. But just being in the community, watching it on the 72-inch projection screen in our condo would be okay, or go out to one of the bars. But yeah, I wouldn't go to the game this is part of the problem with being in the media. I'm being honest here. It spoils you. You got a reserved seat. You're in climate control. You got food. You got, generally a good view. That changes with some of the bigger events, but you're taken care of. You get spoiled by that. You can't cheer. You can't do fan stuff. You can't drink. You can't do any of that stuff. But then to try to transition to go sit in the 90th row, like for example, Royals played the World Series against the Giants. My former company that we worked with on with GoPowerCat.com set us up with seats at Game 1 at Kauffman.
What?
The top row of the upper deck.
15 or 14?
I don't know.
Did they win or lose?
They lost to the Giants that game.
So that would have been 14. I was at that game too, actually.
We were at the very top row. And
There's not a bad seat in Kauffman.
Oh my God!
No, that is.
You have absolutely no depth perception. You could not tell the difference between a line drive and a pop up, or how far it was going. I mean, you just really had no relevance to the game. You could, and plus, I was not the only fat man in our group. And I'll say this: it was a proud moment when I was not in the top two guys that struggled to get up those stairs.
There we go.
But as a person who doesn't like heights, going down the stairs scared me.
See, I think that's it's about the heights for you than it is about being far away. So but I would rather, going back to the national championship thing, I don't care where my seat's at. Can I see the court? Yeah, I'll go. Because
if you can't hear the ball hitting the floor,
you can hear the ball hitting the floor.
No, you can't.
Yeah, you can.
No, you can't.
Absolutely.
Have you been?
I've heard that you can't.
Sources tell Mr. Carmody.
Yes.
I don't believe you. I think you'll be able to hear everything.
Well,
you're not that
let's
far
agree
away.
to disagree.
You're not that far away. You'd watch a football game from the same seats. They're the same. A human is the same size. Football player, basketball player, doesn't really matter. They're still down there, still going at it. But I'm good with sitting in the upper deck, last row, any stadium. Doesn't bother me. I did standing room only to go to the game 1 of the 2015 World Series, which was like the greatest deal ever.
And one of the best games in the history of the Royals.
It was a great game, a long game, but also like I would stand out on the Pepsi porch anyway half the time when I'd go to games back then. So like standing in the outfield, it was common. It wasn't something
back
new for
at the
me.
wall. This game is tied.
But yeah, seeing
that?
the
Was that good? Was that good?
right. Seeing the inside the park home run from Escobar. That was kind of tough. Like you just see him running and the ball's not coming out, and you're just like, well, okay, he's gonna score.
Yeah. Yep.
Can I bring up a topic? Would you guys mind?
No, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm on it.
Downtown Stadium for the Royals.
What? Stop.
Is that on the topic?
Stop it.
Shit. That shows you how much I read the question.
Did you just curse again?
He did.
We shut the up.
Jeez.
Stop cussing on the freaking.
Vince was like, I really don't want to do any more work at this exact moment.
This is in the second half of the podcast, and if you haven't been following along, I kick some butt in the first half. In the second half, I throw a couple in and go, screw it, that's good enough.
Well, I'd like to apologize because since Cole was
apologize to Colecats 3.
Colecats 3, I'm so sorry.
Okay,
go.
Go Cole.
Are you excited for the Royals to move to downtown Kansas City and new Arrowhead to take Kaufman's place?
New Arrowhead's going to be in Kansas, so get off my lawn.
Okay, let's start with the Royal Stadium. I am very fired up about it. But they're going to have to figure out transportation better. Like they're talking an offshoot of the light rail, and I'm like, well, that still will have a choke point. Like wherever the offshoot is, you're going to have a pileup of people trying to get on or off. It's going to be a mess.
670 needs to have at least one extra lane going eastbound. Once you pass Kemper, on 670, you got to have one more lane because it's 3 lanes. One's an exit, one's straight through, and one's another exit, I think. Like there's literally just one. There's only one lane that you can take to get through, to get all the way through across to get to Kaufman now. So you need an extra.
I'm caught. I can't
You need an extra lane there, or maybe if it's on the north side, maybe you take I-70 all the way around.
That's where I wanted to go. Is the two plans are the two proposed areas are essentially north of T-Mobile, by City Hall or something up there. I don't know. I've never been in that. I've never gone.
Yeah, I know where that's at.
That east.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I go like up Main to River Market, but I never really go that far east. So that's one area. And the other area is in the Vine District. I think that's where it belongs.
Yeah.
Because that makes downtown hotels even, and the Crossroads District, the P&L, and Crown Center are all right there. I think it's a great place, and it's historic. Put it there. It's where baseball was born in Kansas City. Move it back there. I love that he's demanding this. And don't get me wrong, I love the K. I love Kauffman Stadium. But having baseball located in a more urban area is really cool.
It is.
It is really, really cool. And I think it'd be dynamic for the city. And I know everyone's fondly remembering Kauffman, and it is a cool place, and it is a brilliant design because it's held up through the years. They did the addition, they expanded it out around. Because in my day, you went down to the foul pole and you came back. And it is really cool. But they can integrate fountains, which they should.
They will. They definitely will.
And I'm all for it. I'm less for the Chiefs moving, even though, and I've got some thoughts on this. Anyone got more thoughts on Kauffman before I go off?
Yes.
It needs to have a roof. I don't care where it is. It needs to have a roof
on Kauffman.
Both.
Royals.
Everything needs. If you're building a stadium in 2022 or later, put a roof on it. At least something retractable, so you can, because it'll allow you to host more events in the wintertime or when it's cold or when it's rainy, whatever. You don't have to reschedule things. Just put roofs on things, and if you want to take it off, take it off.
We already have T-Mobile Center for big events, not concerts.
You can have there's a lot of Minute Maid Park type stuff.
For Arrowhead, yes.
There's stuff that you can put in baseball parks.
For Arrowhead,
you're a baseball guy. You probably want baseball outdoors.
Yes. There's no reason that there has to be, unless you play in Texas.
A retractable roof.
No.
I kind of agree.
In Kansas?
I would almost hope
Kansas
that
City?
They would do a rolling roof or something that doesn't seal it off but protects it from the elements.
You have to show off.
Do kind of a Marlins Park roof, but build it like SoFi.
Here's the deal.
I didn't follow that. Okay. I'm not familiar enough.
So SoFi Stadium, Chargers, Rams. It's got a roof. Open air stadium.
Yes.
What the hell is the point of moving downtown if you're not going to show off downtown?
I'm with you. I'm going with you.
So, no. I mean, I understand why logistically that would be a thing, but if you plan on moving a ballpark downtown, it's because you want to show off your city. You want urban baseball. If you have an open and a closed roof, I'm telling you this right now, in Houston, it's in the city. But they do not promote the city at all. It doesn't feel like you're in I've been there, okay? It doesn't feel like you're sitting there in the city. Guess what? You go to Washington to watch the Nationals play. You go to D.C. at Nationals Park. You take the rail in, and you are in the middle of the city. It feels like you're in the middle of the city. Same thing in Chicago, right? That's what these ballparks – they feel like city baseball. That's what you want Kauffman to be like? Because they will name it Kauffman Stadium. I fully believe that.
Agree.
And I think that's a great idea. Yes, incorporate the fountains. Incorporate the large screen that that you're so proud of. That's totally okay. Move it downtown. Add some more amenities. Make it feel like it's downtown baseball.
That's a fancy word for stuff. Go ahead.
And that is what you're supposed to do. I'm still kind of hesitant to the whole thing of trying to move, and I get it. I think that John Sherman, as far as the Royals go, he's the Royals owner, in case you didn't know that, Ryan, because I know probably you're familiar with that. First of all, they need to focus on how they can get back on the winning track. But if they can time it to where they're starting to win as the new stadium is starting to be built, I think it will be a major success.
I think they're fast-tracking this. This is something he wants. And as we see attendance drop, you might want to look into your cable streaming options. As attendance drops, and it's not just because they're bad, people are disconnected from the team. They can no longer watch them on TV on a regular basis. They've got to solve all these problems. It's going to happen. I hope they move down in the historic Vine District. It's right there. There's,
but this is east of downtown, right?
This would be slightly east.
Like 18th and Vine.
So what do you do?
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically you want to move back to where old municipal stadium was.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the exact – it's not the exact spot, but it's the
But that's the neighborhood.
There is a big city labor training building down in there that they would take out. And it and the other infrastructure apparently is more than enough space for them to put a baseball stadium.
I didn't realize that was an option
But there's a problem with that. You either have two options. You have it facing towards the east like most stadiums do, and you have no view, or you have it facing the west with the downtown skyline, but you're facing into the sun.
Yeah, that's good. That's valid.
Yeah, you can't orient a ballpark to the northwest, home plate facing northwest in America. And I don't know anybody.
That's what the Rockies do.
No, the Rockies goes northeast.
Though. They're higher than hell. They don't know what direction. They don't know they're in Denver.
Rockies goes northeast.
But I know that there was a big thing about how first basemen have to look into the sun because
you can go into the north. It's not a big deal to go to the north. You just don't want to go to the northwest at the end of the day with the sun setting into the batter's eyes.
Yeah.
But I agree with you, Cole. You want it to feel like you're in downtown, and if you're facing nothing,
71 Highway.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's very valid. Okay, moving the Chiefs. I'm all for it. I know Arrowhead has got a big tradition and all that. And maybe if they took out the baseball stadium, they could add some more amenities. But nobody wants to go to Independence. It's not a destination. It's not where you want to go. So my wife and I just went to a concert at what was Sandstone, is now something else.
Bonner Springs.
Yeah, I need to put in some serious money into that.
The amphitheater.
Yeah, it's
a little rough.
Yeah, it was
kind of cold, wasn't it?
It was a little bit cold. Saturday night, and it was 50-some degrees at concert time. So I didn't realize, though, that amphitheater was 2.7 miles from our hotel in Legends. It's
right
that
there.
close. It's right there. And I also didn't realize that there's already a divided 4-lane highway right there. And there is tons of open space for a stadium.
That's where it's going to be.
Now, here's my point. What is the big controversy about moving it to Kansas?
It's people that like gatekeeping Kansas City is Missouri. It's not in Kansas. It's those
folks
people
crying, we're never going to drive over there, which first of all is horse crap. You will drive. Second of all, we were a little bit late getting to our hotel because at Children's Mercy Park, the sporting stadium right there in Legends, we had to wait because Lee Summit was having all their graduations.
Yeah, I knew that. Yep.
Lee Summit high schools, all three of them had their graduations on Saturday, spread out through the day. And we turned around on Sunday when we were leaving, got caught by another graduation from the Missouri side. Oh, so it's not that big a problem. It's actually kind of convenient, isn't it?
Why do you think that Kansas passed the gambling act?
Yeah, that breezed through. They'll supplement that stadium quite a bit to get it on the Kansas side. There is a long-term plan on the other side. What is that highway, the exit that takes you off 70 to the Speedway? 102? 102nd Street, 160-something Street? Whatever. You know that double.
to the casino?
To the casino Speedway when you're coming down I-70.
Yeah.
There's a long-term plan for a Hard Rock hotel on the other side, on the south side of the interstate there.
Okay.
Which I would imagine...
Competing with Hollywood.
Well, as of now, it's not a casino because it's got to have a Kansas own. But I can see if Kansas lets up on things that they will eventually have a casino there too, which should be what they do.
There we go.
And there's so much room for development there. There really is.
Is it all of the money that they get from
75%? I think.
So what if they don't get a team from Kansas? It's just wasted money, right?
Oh, they'll put it. They'll spend it on nonsense stuff that politicians like to spend money on.
They would never do that.
Yeah, they would probably spend it on new socks or something. They'll probably give themselves raises. Honestly, are we about done with this thing?
This is the last question. Tell us from the Exhausted Nihilist.
I don't want even to edit this thing, but we've got so much cussing in it.
Jeez.
What the Fitz?
Sorry, Frank.
Tell us a little bit more about your summer vacation plans.
We don't have any. We don't. We were going to go to South Carolina and Savannah and that area, but we decided not to. We're not going to drive anywhere because by the summertime it's going to cost $100 million per gallon of gas, so we're not probably going to do that.
You're flying to Colorado?
Hold on.
Oh.
We are taking a brief vacay to Breckenridge next week. So we got podcast issues next week. We're going to have to do it on Tuesday.
Bum, 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 bum.
As long as we do it before Golf League, I'm happy.
We have to do it early Tuesday because then I got to edit them before I leave on Wednesday morning at 7:30. We're driving to Breckenridge to hang out with some friends and some new friends. We had some other friends that were going to go, and then they had childcare issues and they couldn't go. So Becky and I, with some of our younger friends, shout out to Brad and Shannon, and they're bringing some of their friends who we're excited to meet, and we're going to go drink and be festive at 10,000 feet. Not quite 10,000 feet, but I like to exaggerate. Yeah, so we're going to do 4 days and 4 nights in Breckenridge. That's really all we got planned right now. Deafening silence. Anyone else got any plans?
I did all of everything for my summer already.
You did.
I went to Miami for the Grand Prix. I went to the PGA Championship this last weekend. I might have to go find a new job or something
I know,
so I can get more money.
Yeah, pay for all that, and I don't know.
I'm going to be yelling at umpires who don't want to be there.
It's not good.
No.
You are the worst. I guess you do umpire those. So
I
it's
do.
Okay.
I can see both sides. I'll be doing that. I will be, unfortunately, spending more time with Gilbert than anybody else.
That's a vacation. Are you going anywhere around Gilbert? You've gone to Arizona in the past?
No, I don't have anything planned, really.
I need to get some more of that rub.
Bull.
Yeah, I can't say it.
The chicken.
No,
chicken.
Damn it! No, you got me, bull.
Okay, my bad.
Yeah, and it's. I highly recommend it. In fact, I'll probably go on the www, maybe go to Jeff Bezos' site, that guy, and get some more of that bull and chicken because I heard chicken's really good too, and there's other ones. So, but really good rub.
You get that?
But you're not going anywhere?
Not that I have plans.
Are you going to go down to Aggieville and hang out at Taco Lucha and work? Did you know Taco Lucha is a sponsor of this podcast that's gone on way too long?
No, I did not know. I think we might go there right now.
Yeah, we
or the saloon next door.
My
Lucha and Saloon.
Need some food. But if anyone has any suggestions for a nice little vacay for Becky and I, we'll do it. It's not only the gas problem for driving; it's airfare is outrageous right now. And
unless you want to fly Allegiant to Vegas
or Spirit,
that's pretty cheap.
I could fly Spirit and hate myself. Every time I think about flying Spirit, people post, "Don't do it. You'll hate it. You'll hate it." So I'm not going to do it.
I want to know who flies Spirit or Allegiant or Frontier, any of those low cost
people that don't apparently like reliable.
Hang on. Okay. They fly it and they fly it religiously. Like that's all they'll fly because they love it and they're like pros at gaming the system. I want to meet those people.
Well, there's a way to game Spirit. You get the big front seat. You do those, whatever that's called, the big.
Yeah.
But anyhow, I hope everyone has good vacation plans. Becky and I are going to get the house painted if we can get that scheduled.
You paint houses?
I don't, but I will murder you right after this podcast. That's a mob reference. I don't know how it came up, but it did. That was a killer podcast.
Thank you for listening to the Power Cat Podcast. Make sure you're subscribing to our show at Apple, Spotify, Amazon, or wherever you get your podcasts. Power Cat Podcast. All rights reserved. GoPowerCat.com.
With Blue Link Plus, you can access your Hyundai Tucson Limited remotely. Doors unlocked, temperature set, lost car found.
There it is.
Get complimentary class-leading Blue Link Plus. Call 562-314-4603 for complete details.